What's up everyone? Welcome back to the workshop. Thanks for sticking with me through the Scram subwoofer build. I'll do one more video on that subwoofer where we'll take some measurements and try to tune it with the rest of our system. But for this week, I'm going to change gears and begin on my next project. We're going to build the JMOD from JW Sound, and we're going to do it in a more traditional wood shop without a CNC. I've already got one and it's great, and I'm due for a second. This is an advanced build and might not be a great first project unless you have a strong background in woodworking. I'm a fan of multiple entry horns in general, which is where all of the drivers are feeding into a single acoustic horn. They're very power dense and they've got great off-axis response. And this one in particular is really well designed. It minimizes the number of angled cuts that you need to make, and it's possibly even a little easier to build than a syntropy, especially if you factor in the secondary horns of the syntropy. And I mentioned we'll be doing this without a CNC, but I don't think that this one's possible without a 3D printer, especially the throat adapter. But 3D printers are a fraction of the cost of a CNC, and they take up less space, they have less of a learning curve, and are more readily available. There are some libraries in my area that have 3D printers for public use. I'm using an Elegoo Centauri Carbon, which has been very easy to use. I don't have a background in 3D printing. This was the first thing that I really had to 3D print. So I'm going to use this necessary tool, the 3D printer, to aid in creating 3D printed templates that I'll use to make router templates. You might be able to print these parts as the final template itself that you want to use, but I like transferring these designs over to wood. And that's a brief rundown of the process behind this. So now let's dive in. I downloaded the step file from JW Sound and opened it with Onshape, which is a free CAD software. This is the program that I use to pull all of my measurements and angles off of. I tried to get a screen recording of this where if you can click on edges, and down in the lower right-hand corner, there's a measurement tool. You can see how far parallel edges or vertices are from each other. And you can also get angles from adjacent faces. I exported this inner flare piece as a .obj file, and I opened it in Blender, which is another free 3D design program that I'm a little more familiar with. There's some unnecessary geometry in this CNC step file, so I deleted a lot of the vertices and created a simplified 3D object that was pretty much only going to aid us in creating the actual shape. This is very important. I am deleting the 0.5 centimeter dado recesses from this build, which are not very practical for traditional woodworking, but they're great to have a CNC do it. So ultimately, these inner pieces are going to be 44.6 centimeters tall, which is removing a 0.5 centimeter from each end. From here, I loaded this file into OrcaSlicer for 3D printing, and I'm going to provide these files in the description below. There's a STL file. The geometry is pretty poor. I'm not much of a 3D modeler. When I loaded this STL file into OrcaSlicer, it said there were some errors, but it offered to repair them, and it did it, and it 3D printed it just fine. So if anyone out there is a little better at 3D modeling, maybe you could clean up this model and let me know. But if you can load this OrcaSlicer file, it should be 100% usable. It's exactly half of the height, and it fits on a 250 millimeter by 250 millimeter 3D printing bed. And we're gonna start with a rectangle of wood that's 44.6 centimeters tall and 30.264 centimeters wide, or however close you can get to that. I'm going to use our 3D printed template to trace the lines and make sure that my ports match up perfectly with the throat adapter. I think this is the most important part, Make sure they line up with this throat adapter. I'll do a rough cut on the bandsaw first to remove as much wood as possible. And then for these holes, I'll drill 3 holes in the ports and connect it with a jigsaw. With our rough cuts made, then I'll attach the 3D printed template. I used 2 pieces of tape with a bead of super glue to hold the one end secure. And then I put some tape on the other end and I drilled a screw where the driver bolt would go to help on the other side. I'm being really careful not to tighten down the screw too much because it put too much pressure on this 3D printed part and crack it. I'll move over to the router table and use a guide bearing bit to remove the excess wood using multiple shallow passes. Now repeat this process for the other side and make sure the ports match up with your throat adapter. And this is your template for making more pieces. Please save this. Well, that's just for our template. There are a lot more manufacturing steps that need to happen for this inner flare. So we'll move on to the rest of those now. You'll have to route a recess for the throat adapter to sit in. So I'll mark the edges with this with a knife and I will become my own CNC. I'll route out this rectangle and I'll clean out the corners with a chisel and I'll check the fit. We'll flip the piece over, which is really the inside, and you'll need to route a round channel to avoid the driver making contact with the wood. The closest approximation I could get of this geometry was a 7/8 inch cove bit, and I've set it to about 6 millimeters deep. The radius you're aiming for is 12.65 centimeters, and the center of the circle is centered at 22.3 centimeters from the top and 14.2 centimeters from the edge. If you want to use threaded inserts to mount your driver, you can use the screw holes from the 3D printed template to find the inner 2 locations. Fit your driver over these 2 holes and find the location of the outer 2. I highly recommend having the actual driver you plan on using on hand to find these marks, and I also recommend using a drill press. And you can add these hole locations to your router template piece if you'd like. And now the last step, route a 1/4 inch round over to the interior of your ports. And you did it. This is how your final piece should look. We have our circle, we have our roundovers on the inside, we have our 4 holes for mounting our driver. Here's the threaded inserts that are mounted. I attached these with CA glue. And here's a rectangle for where the throat adapter will sit. This is what your final pieces should look like. You're gonna need 2 of these per build. The next video will cut the upper and lower flare pieces. And thanks for watching. I hope you're following along. Please give this video a like if you found it helpful, and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with the rest of the series.